like to welcome up Qurban, Roya, and Habib now. No, come join us. Yeah, thank you. While they're getting settled, I'll take a little moment and give you all just a little bit of background. So, come on up. We'll sit here. I think many of us remember in August and September the quite upsetting images as Afghanistan fell to the Taliban, and many of us wondered what would be happening next. And a number, close to 70,000 refugees actually, ended up in the United States, many of whom waited for many, many months at Fort Dix in New Jersey. And Qurban and Roya are part of those people. And Habib, you didn't have to go to Fort Dix. You ended up in... You just came. We'll get to that. So living at Fort Dix for about 6 months, actually, in the middle of the pandemic. And then we, as in the Jewish community, and actually a number of faith-based communities, got a call from both the State Department and a group that oversees welcome circles that we could help in some way. And so our congregation and a lot of Jewish communities in our area and really across the country, we worked with HIAS, the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, to form a welcome circle. And so we were able to create this welcome circle, and then we applied to help essentially, not sponsor because they were already fully sponsored, but to help be the support for a family, a refugee family. And many of the people who volunteered from our congregation and communities across the county talked about why they were doing this. For all of us, this was an opportunity to really live out our Jewish values. We are told many, many times in the Torah to be mindful of the stranger in our midst, to respect the stranger, to love the stranger, that they are to be given the same rights as our Israelite brethren. And so this was just an extension of that. And all the more so many of us, we trace our own family lineages as refugees as well. And that we know that there were welcoming arms and outstretched hands that helped our families to make a new home here in the United States. And without that, who knows where we would be. And so we were able to do the same and to live out our values. And so I want to take a moment and recognize the members of the Welcome Circle first. Just wave. Sandy Lester and Rhea Dorn, Diane Buca. Cheryl and Michael Cohen are with us virtually in Connecticut, so we'll wave to them. Lori Suval, I saw you before, Lori? Oh, and Joe Bedell. These were our sort of hands-on members, but there were so many people from our community who reached out, who had donations, who supported. I also want to take a moment to actually also thank the law firm of Kahana Feld, who donated hours and hours of pro bono support to help to start the process of asylum cases for Roya and for Qurban, for which we are also very grateful, and the Public Law Center. So during ONEG, if you have more questions about that process, I'm happy to talk a little bit more about that, but I just wanted to acknowledge that this was a whole community effort and one that I think we all took real pride in being able to do. And it's been about a year and a half, actually, that we met Roya and Qurban at the Santa Ana airport. There we all are, February of 2022. With our sign. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was a little bit of a blur. It was the last flight in that night, and you had been traveling for like 10 hours or something like that. And we're going to have a little opportunity now to ask you all how the last year and a half has been. And just to explain a little bit, I think I want to share that Qurban was a governor in a province in Afghanistan. You worked very, very hard, and I know you are quite proud of the work that you did, and we're incredibly proud of the work that you did. Do you want to share a little bit? Yeah. Okay. You can sit if you want. No, you want to stand at the...
Thank you. Hello, good evening, everyone. Fortunately, I came to the United States almost 2 years ago. I am glad to introduce it to you good and your good friends and great characters. I'm grateful to the reception group for their support and guidance for a year and a half. I hope you will continue your cooperation in the future. Thank you so much to the members of the welcome group, dear Rabbi Sarah and Sandy, Ria, Shairal, Michael, and Diane, and Luri, and Joe. I will never forget your humanitarian aid. Right now, I go to college for this week. I start my class at 8:30 a.m. and finish 3:30 p.m. The college has very good atmosphere, class and library is good. It has very hardworking and kind teachers, friendly students from different countries afterwards. Fortunately, I made a lot of new friends from different cultures and different languages. I really enjoy this space. 2 months ago, I met senior Afghan peoples and the senior center. We have meeting with them every Wednesday for 2 hours. We hear music, songs, and together. I go to UC library once a week. I read different books. It is very interesting for me. I want to find job in the library of the future. I like to read, write and work there. I go to uh, uh, gym and swimming pool 5 days a week. I ride bike sometime and walk 1 hour every day with my dog and my neighborhood. Uh, Thank you. I'm very happy here because very friendly people and very good uh, uh, experience for me. A lot of things there. Uh, and I'm I try learn English because I need for everything's English language. Uh, there, I and I I'm happy this community here invited me here and hear me. I little understand English because thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. If you there ask question with me, for me, I'm ready for answer for you. Thank you.
I'm going to ask a few questions. So, Kurban, you go to IVC every day,
Yeah.
and you're learning English.
Yes.
And we know that you like to go to the gym, and you're someday working at the library.
Yes.
Love it. And I want to ask your daughter, too, if that's okay.
Okay.
Roya, what do you like to do? What are you doing these days?
I'm sitting there.
I'm working at Chick-fil-A.
Working at
And,
Chick-fil-A, into the mic.
6 hours, sometimes 6 hours, sometimes 11 hours, sometimes 12 hours. This week is,
It's a lot of work.
yeah. One days I'm off because
One day a week she's off, and she's working at Chick-fil-A, and you're also going to school at IVC as well, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Also
and
working
4 days. And
4 days a week at IVC.
yeah, and
Amazing. And Habib is also Kurban's son, and you were able to come to the United States about 5 months ago, right? 8 months already. Okay, I'm late. I was on leave. I missed it.
Okay.
Do you want to share a little bit about how you came here?
Oh, yes, definitely. If it's okay, I would like to share something. Thank you so much for such a nice opportunity Jewish community given us, and such a nice support. Wow, I'm really amazed. My dad and my sister got here after Afghanistan collapse. So this is long story. I can tell in a few hours. It's very hard to say, actually. Okay, I will skip that part. Okay. Uh, Actually, it was very tough. That night, I was feeling like I've lost every member of my family, all of a sudden. It's like destroying the bird's nest, and then all of a sudden, all of it flies away and takes place everywhere. It's like very tough moment.
If I
So,
could- all of your siblings were sort of spread out all over the place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. After that, I was thinking, okay, we have something at the home. Okay, we have to take care of that too. Like my medals for my dad, or some of the parts of the military clothing, and all that these things are lifted at home. So, what we could do about that one? That's a very hard. Okay, I had a few friends too. I had they gifted me Bible, which was in very. I was used to keep it. I had Indian that one too. They gifted me at the trip to the India. That book, I don't remember that one. Uh, those things were at the home. So I was wondering, wow, what could I do now? What's the one of my thought was that at that time, that was so. After that time, my dad and Roya, my sister, all of a sudden we couldn't find them. They were in airport. They went to the other side of airport. That was a military side of airport. And finally, they were headed to the somewhere. They had no idea about where they are going.
Wow.
Then after a few hours, like after not a few hours, after like tomorrow morning, I was be able to call to my family and call to my dad. Finally we connected, and they said we are in Qatar. Said okay, that's good. Good news that actually my dad made and my sister made out. Then we found out that was an evacuation from the United States military. Amazing job that was. Then after some time, I was be able to escape to the different part of Afghanistan, hide from one place to another place, because one of my special friends who were so trusted me, who brought me to the presidential palace in Afghanistan, was his name was Sorab Ahmed. That day I found out he was in also blacklist of Taliban at the top level. So they were also searching about their friends, family, and all this. And unfortunately, that was very scary moment. Actually, I was wondering that where to go, where to hide, where to be able to escape from evil. It was still like for me, like it was like a dream. When you walk up, all of a sudden, all territory was like occupied by the evil, and you have no idea. The machine gun man is standing on head of you, so it was very tough. Then I came to a different country. I escaped to the Tehran. I escaped to the Turkey. I was seeking refugee. What's that called?
Refugee status, or
Yeah, refugee
to ask for
status.
asylum.
Yes, and then it won't happen. They caught me and sent me back to Afghanistan. So it was very scary. At the moment when I arrived to the Kabul airport, so I just hide my passport under my shoes, stick it somewhere. So when I went there, so they asked me, "Who are you?" I just faked the name, and then they were still checking the list, but they couldn't find. So they said, "Okay, they are all deported people. We will deal later on." They just allowed me to go. And when I go there, I just went to see my mother. My mom was there. I saw my mom. I didn't spend the night, and said, "Mom, I'm just leaving." I came to see you. Okay. Then I took the flight from Kabul to the bordering area of Iran. And then again, I managed to Iran and went to take my visa to Brazil. So finally, they issued me the visa. They know the situation was so tough. So they gave me visa and we came back to Brazil. And Brazil was also tough. I had no language. I was not speaking Portuguese. There was nobody speaks English in Brazil. It was very tough. I was used to speak at the phone and translate all these things, but it didn't work. Sometimes you lost and go somewhere wrong, and that was very. I faced also somewhere I went. So the guys were standing with knife and all these things. Oh my God. They said, "What do you have?" I said, "No, nothing." He searched all the things. He took my phone, all the things. Yeah, so they said, "Okay, go back to home." So these things happened, and then one of my friends, he was Venezuelan, so he told me, "Let's go to somewhere safer." So I had no idea actually what was happening. So he said, "Okay, you have $1,000." I said, "Okay, we have. Let's go." We came to different country. When I arrived to the Colombia, I realized what I did. Did very wrong thing. When I came to Colombia, I was not able to go back to Brazil too. It was very tough because they won't let you to at the half of the
You
mission.
didn't have a visa for
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Nothing. I have to go back. So then all of a sudden, after 4 or 5 days, they said, "Okay, we will go to Central America." I searched. Suddenly, I took my phone out and searched about where to these things connecting. So there was the beach, which was connecting the Darien Gap to Panama, and that at the middle of those gaps, Colombia and Panama, there was about 6 to 12 hours of boat running. If the police saw them, all of a sudden they will put on the things and the guys will disappear. I had no idea about that. I searched it, I know. I came to know. I said, "Okay, I'm living in Colombia. That's it, I'm not going." So 2, 3 days they were convincing, telling me it's okay, not a problem. We all are leaving. Look at these children, look at this woman. You can also make it. So after that, I came to Darien Gap. At the night we start the trip, and there were very scary things on the way. They were on the boat. There were the children, there were young women, girls, all were sitting, and the water was like 2 to 3 meters. Just that the boat was speeding, so water was that height. It was like we were looking to the water. It was like spreading around. So it was very tough, and it was very hard. We made it to jungle, and jungle was also very, very tough. I was regretting every moment of that. One of my friends asked me how was the way. I said, if you didn't experience, you won't know it about that. It's very hard to tell, because if I tell you, you won't understand. You won't say, okay, this is tough. Actually, it's tough. Actually, you have no idea where you are going. where you are heading. Finally, I saw people who died on the way. They were just buried in there, robbed with the gunmen, and many things happened on the way. It was when I arrived to Costa Rica. I had 2-3 nights. I was just had a nightmare. Wow, it's like people were like. I was dreaming like people were pulling me out and putting me on the mat, and sometimes the waters comes up and I'm suffocating and walking up. These things were happening. So I was super nervous. I was super lost. I had all my money, all the things were gone, which I had years of saving. And that was very bad experience for me. So anyways, we had to come across different places because on the way we met Afghan guys, and they were also coming. We finally came to Mexico and all that. And Mexico also, we had a language problem, but little bit Mexico was good. The people were so nice, friendly, and but it's tough still.
If you're following along, that's, I think, 7 different countries that you went to, maybe even more.
It's like 10
10?
different countries. Yeah,
Walking.
walking, right. It takes like, it took me 2.5 months to complete all that journey.
Remember how happy your family was when you arrived safely?
The things was when I came to United States, and I have 2-3 memories from this. How many? Like it was 2021, right?
When?
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Of August.
yeah,
It's been like two and a half years.
that you
I-
haven't
I
seen some
had a-
family members.
Yes, I had a different experience from different countries. Baddest memory was from the Turkey. They had very restricted policy upon the immigrants. They don't like actually the immigrants, especially our Afghans. They don't like it. I don't know what's the problem. The Tehran is also very tough to live because a lot of our immigrants, Afghan immigrants, are there. So somehow they are very rude. That things. Then I came to the United States. I met with my family, and one of my greatest and happiest moment in my life. Actually, I was never thought I could meet them again, because it was very tough. It was very hard to join to my family. Such a amazing people we have here. They supported my sister and my dad when they arrived here. I saw many people, many of my friends came by SIV, Afghan special visas, special immigration program, but they couldn't get that half of this support and this systematic like welcoming. One of my friends recently came, and their sponsors calling them, okay, you take the taxi, come to hotel, we will help you in a hotel. When I said, okay, we have car, we will bring them. Okay, we brought them to the hotel. Then after 5 hours, they came to hotel to visit. But my dad and my sister was so they were so lucky they found you guys, and you guys supported them. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Habib now has a driver's license and is working on finishing your we're going to work on your asylum status as well. Yes. And hopefully continue to work on bringing more family members here and reuniting your family again. Wish to see your mom again. I'm going to leave it there for now, I think. And thank you all for sharing your story. Thank you. Thank you all for being here and joining us tonight.